All right, so for this week, we're gonna go over 5 stretches that you could do every day. So these are 5 of my favorites. So I'm gonna walk you through each one, show you how to set it up, and then you would wanna hold it. I'll explain, but you just wanna hold each one for a few breaths, or depending on the stretch, you might go through a few repetitions. So stretch number 1, I call the bow tie. So it's gonna stretch out the muscles at the front of your hips, so your hip flexors. These are muscles that get really tight when you sit a lot. So if you're at your desk during the day, this would be a great one to start with. What you're gonna do is start by getting comfortable on your stomach. Step 1 is to try and reach back and grab the same leg. So I'm gonna try my left arm to my left leg. I slide this arm out straight, relax my head, reach back and grab this leg. If that isn't too difficult for you, you're gonna try to reach across your body and grab the other leg. So I'm gonna try left arm to right leg. And then what I'm gonna try to do is exhale and try to lift my arm and my leg off the ground to get a little bigger stretch. So you can start with this. You can do about 5 deep breaths on one side, switch over, and about 5 deep breaths on the other side. So the final step would be to do the full bow tie, which is grabbing both legs with both arms. So I'm gonna grab my left with my left, my right with my right. I'm gonna lift my head up a little bit and try to get my thighs off the ground. And just take about 5 deep breaths while pulling my heels kind of a little bit closer to my butt. All right, so stretch number 2, I call this a side lying windmill. So you're gonna be lying on your side. You can start on either side. So you wanna get nice and long, like just directly on your side. If you look at my top leg, my foot's gonna hook behind my bottom knee, and I'm gonna try to tuck this knee up and kind of roll it onto the ground. So this is my setup position from the bottom. My bottom arm is gonna stick way out, just straight off my shoulder. I'm gonna place my other arm right on top. So this is gonna be your starting position before the movement. Now I'm gonna make kind of a half circle windmill motion with the top arm. So I'm gonna kind of roll my head back as I start to reach and windmill this arm over the top. So I end up in this position here with my arms way out apart from each other. Then I'm gonna finish by reaching back over and doing it again. So while I'm doing it, I don't want this knee to come too far off the ground. I want to reach really wide and then sweep back across and continue. So I'm going to do this 5 times, then I'm going to roll over and do the other side, working with the other arm. All right, so the third stretch, we're gonna kind of go after the hamstrings, so behind the knees and down the back of your legs. So we call these leg glides. So we're gonna do one leg at a time, and then we're gonna do both legs at the same time. But you're gonna lie on your back, and just get comfortable. You're gonna hug underneath of one knee, so you wanna be on the bottom side of the thigh. You kind of clasp your fingers together and just make sure you have a good hold underneath. Rest your head back. From there, you're gonna try to squeeze this leg up, focusing on getting it as straight and tight as you possibly can. So you're just gonna come up, bend, come back up again. So we want a good knee bend and squeeze down, and then focus on just how straight and squeezed can you get this leg. So what you're gonna do is 10 of these on one side, then you would set up this leg down straight, reach under the other side, and 10 on your other side as well. So after you do each leg, you can do both legs at the same time. This is a good way to loosen up the low back. It really kind of decompresses the lower spine. So you're gonna take your hands and now hug under both legs. Okay, rest your head back. Now you're just doing both. Try to keep the feet pretty close together, squeeze up, and bend down. So you can rest your head back, keep tucking the knees in, and just keep squeezing up as straight as possible. And you can do about 10 with each leg and then 10 with both legs. Okay, so the next stretch would probably look familiar if you've ever done yoga. We're gonna move from kind of an upward facing dog, so a press up, into a downward facing dog with your hips up nice and high. So we're gonna start with a big stretch down the front side of your body and kind of through the abdomen, and move into hips high and getting a good stretch down the hamstrings, into the calves, all the way down to your feet. So you're gonna start by lying on your stomach. Okay, your hands are gonna be set alongside your chest. You're gonna start by looking up, so eyes up, chin up. You're gonna use your hands to press your chest up. Keep your hips down on the floor so you get a nice stretch through the middle. From there, you're gonna transition onto the balls of your feet. And just press your hips up as high as you possibly can. And then you're gonna start to come down and roll back down to the floor. Before you do it again here, chest up, stretch it out. Press through, hips nice and high. And start to slowly roll, belt buckle back down, chest back down, and move through again. And I would start with just doing 10 of these total, just nice, slow, and controlled, just breathing the whole time. All right, so the final stretch is gonna be kind of for the groin area. So this can also get tight if you sit down a lot, and it's also kind of stress related. People who are overly stressed out seem to get tight in the groin area because it's kind of tied into your adrenal glands and your adrenal system. So this is most likely tight on most people. So what you're gonna do is place one knee down on the ground. Your hands are gonna start in front of you. You're gonna try to stick one leg out to the side. So as straight as you can with your toe pointing forward. From there, you're gonna move down to your elbows. You're gonna get your chest nice and low to the ground. And you're just gonna start to sit your hips backwards. And kind of rock back forwards. Use your elbows, push yourself back. And rock back forward. Keeping this leg on the outside as straight as you possibly can. Do this for about 20 seconds, then you're just gonna slide this knee down, switch legs, and transition into the other leg. So leg out, elbows down, and start to slide back.